we're gonna open these boxes. I haven't done so in a little bit. So we're gonna give some smoke. There's only one. Ethan, don't stand in front of the box. It's cloudy. It was raining earlier. A little bit. So, not exactly sure what that does to the bees. Hey bees. We're going to just check and see what, if anything, we notice. Okay, these are the feeders. We're gonna have to fill these with some sugar water in a minute. This is a Hive tool. This is a Hive brush. I'm gonna put this ready if I need it. This should be pretty easy. I always have to be on the lookout for the queen. I'm not gonna go all the way down. I'm just gonna remove this top cover and see if I see something that might be worrisome to me. I'm just going to give them a little bit more smoke. Pretty windy, which I don't know if that's a bad thing or a good thing. I'm not a pro. Now, you see some bees there and all that brown stuff right here? That's called propolis. Propolis is bee glue. They use that to glue the whole hive together. What I want to do is check inside to see what's going on and if they have developed some honey or some comb, and if things look decent. Now I don't see any activity on this top box, so I might just take it off, take it away from them. Okay. You see, they're starting to draw some comb. There's more on this side, in the very middle. Ethan, come over this way, very slow, and look inside there with the camera. You can look inside of there, you see a lot. Okay? You see that? Okay, now move back. I'm gonna give a little bit of smoke to push them. They're gonna move away from the smoke. I don't want to do too much. I don't want to irritate the colony. I am going to put this frame was built to fit these boxes right there. So I'm going to put that one down, and I'm going to take up one more frame so I can see what's going on. Some drawn out comb here, a little bit more on this side. I don't see the queen on this one. I don't see the queen on this frame. So I'm going to put this one down. Now they have drawn out honey. Ethan, go back inside and take a look. You see how they're full? Every frame on the bottom is so full. The bottom box. You see how they're full of bees? So that's good. If I back up a little bit. What is this thing right there? Is that a bee? Should that be? So those frames are packed which is good. What I want to see now is if the side of those frames, because it might be that I gave them too much room and they're only working the bottom frames. This outside frame has no activity except for one little bee, and the outside frame down there has also no activity, but a nice amount of bees. So this hive is actually healthy. Okay, so the outside layer there has no bees. There's 10 frames. I'm going to take another one on this outside so I can see this side too. You see, this one has no drawn out comb, no activity. And if I look down there, the outside frame on the bottom deep hive, deep box is not being used yet. So I think the signs here are good. I'm going to leave it alone. It seems like they have what's going on here is perfectly good. I'm going to give you guys just a little bit more. Just a little bit more so you guys move away. I'm going to put these right back in there. This is some little wax. This looks like it might have been a queen cell. And they're trying to make a new queen. They make little pockets out of it. I'm not quite sure if that's what it was. Now I don't want to crush bees. You'll always potentially crush some. So I'm going to slide it over on one side, and just pay attention. Okay, I'll take the other frame. Again, look at it to see if I spot the I don't know if you can tell, but you see how all of those frames are pointing upwards? Do you notice that, Ethan? Mm-hmm. How those octagon or hexagons are pointing upward. You know why that is? So the honey doesn't droop out. So they're always like this, but the cups are kind of angled a little bit, maybe at a 20% toward the inside. So they fill it with honey, the honey doesn't drip out. Isn't that awesome? I'm going to shift this over. Actually, I should probably shift this over that way, because this one came from the middle here somewhere. This has been a slow growing hive compared to the other one. But from what I see, there's a lot of activity, and I'm going to take that as a positive sign. That's the middle. We always want to have even spacing, so there's not enough space for them to try to draw out the comb. Now I'm going to put the cover on again. This is the bottom. And we can scrape up some of this. This is propolis. And if you look up propolis, propolis is insanely good. Has many healing properties. Go. Now propolis comes from saps and saps from trees mixed with enzymes, and they use it as glue. This stuff has lots of healing powers. So we're gonna, little by little, when we clean up stuff, we keep it. I should have a jar to put it in, but you have a little bit here, a little bit there. Before you know it, you have enough to make lip balm or something. Or a little bee. You can move over just a bit. All right. Square it out, even it out. A few ants in there. Then we put this little separator on top of there. Then we put this frame back on top. Even it out. And then now we're going to fill this jar. I don't have a lot of syrup, So I'm going to just fill one jar with sugar water. Okay, sometimes you gotta keep pumping, make sure the fire stays on, or you'll lose your smoke, and then that's really your only defense. I'm not gonna give him too much because I haven't made enough. I'm probably make a new jar and then give this, come fill these up later. And these have little holes, and then I just put it right there, and they'll come through that mesh without filling this box. They'll come through the mesh and get to the honey. I mean, get to the nectar, sweet water. That's it. Put these boxes, bricks back on. And that's it for one box. This jar I'm gonna have to wash. All right. Now, this box is the one that worries me a little bit because it's so much bigger than the other one. So before we do anything, we send smoke. Now, you never stand in front of a hive. Okay? Now, they'll get a little irritated from the smoke, but it blocks their communication pheromones. And I leave it close by because it keeps giving a little cover. Top cover, I check it. The only thing I see that I don't recognize is this little bug. But usually if this is covered with bees, I'll just put it on the side and the bees will fly off and go back inside. This is empty. This is empty. And look at the little thing I made in there. It's a little cover where the bees go on. But they can't fill this top box. So I'm going to give a little bit of smoke. I'm actually going to take this cover off. A little bit of smoke. They should all go back inside. If not, they'll be upset. They'll be angry. Step back a little bit. This box is like 5 times bigger in quantity of bees, and we started them off with the same exact amount of bees, the same exact amount of frames, and a queen from the same batch. You see how this is all glued together? It's propolis. They make glue. All this brown stuff is propolis. They find it in trees. They come, they mix it with saliva, and they glue things together. Now what we're going to do is very gently shake it. Be careful because these might be upset. Okay, I'm gonna leave this in the front, so whatever bee gets off of there is going to go inside or fly away. Now these are worker bees. The foragers, whoa, this is amazing. This is amazing. So I always check for the queen. The queen's abdomen is swollener, and she has a red dot, which I don't see anybody here. I don't see a queen on this cover, but it could be she's there. So you want to make sure you respect the possibility she's there, and always check. Now I am extremely thrilled to see how this top cover is doing. If you look in there, you could say this frame has no drawn out anything. This one barely. This one's full of bees. 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 This one, this one, this one, this one. So there's 10 frames. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And it's about 80% covered in bees. So I'm going to try something. I'm going to lift it. It feels like it's full of rocks. Yep, it feels like it's full of rocks. So I'm going to assume they need more space. Now they already have 2 supers in here. So I'm gonna give them another super. And a super means this box right here. So if they're building up here and it's full of bees, they need more space to store stuff. So I'm going to, let me see, I'm going to walk away. Ethan, you can pause it. I'm going to run to the shop and get another super. This is called a super. It has 10 frames. The frames have a base for honey. That helps them a lot. They don't have to, and it kind of directs them to make well-organized little colony that you can identify well what's going on. And they have filled that top super. I have 2 supers on there. I have 2 deeps and 2 supers on there. The top super looks like it's 80% full with bees. When that's the case, they need more space. If I don't give them more space, the queen will take half of this colony, fly away. I want to keep these bees. I don't want them flying away. So I'm going to, just right there. And then, this one's not perfectly, this side is up a little bit, but with weight and time. Now, I want to make sure the spacing on both sides of these frames is the same. So I put it all to one side, put it all to one side. Oh, I have about 3/4 inch space here. Now I split the difference. If you leave too much space, they'll start making an extra comb. So I put about 5/8 here, 5/8 here. Perfect. Then if I could put this on there, but they might end up getting crushed, so I'm going to shake it right in front of the hive. Most of them flew off. That reduces half the chance of any bee getting crushed. Now, bees getting crushed, there's a couple million bees in here, a couple 100,000 bees. So it happens. Now, as I close it, I look, the bees usually move out of the way. Boom, I didn't crush anybody, you see? Level this out. Then what's the order? We have this cover. Now at this height, it's starting to get too high for me. So you can still stand on this. This is why this frame is made the way it is. You can stand on there. This is another super frame. And the super frame I'm putting on right now just so I can feed them. It's a new colony. A well-established colony you shouldn't have to feed anymore at this time of the year because they've already built up their wax bases. But this is a new colony for me, and so they are having to make all of the structures in here to be ready for the winter. So, oh, I forgot something. What did we forget? Food. Now, we came back from vacation, so they've been without food for a couple of days. So I'm gonna give them what I have ready, which is about a half a jar. This is 50% sugar, 50% water. You can buy bee syrup in the store, and all they do is sell you sugar water. Put that bee water in there. Now that it's so tall though, I'm gonna get a ratchet strap and tie it, because the likelihood, the higher it goes, the more likely it is to end up having a tip over situation. All right, folks, this is Tim from Harvest Hills Homes, and Ethan behind the camera, my boy. I wouldn't call myself a beekeeper, but I am keeping bees, and I'm learning. So I guess I'm a beekeeper. All right, folks, like and subscribe. See you later.